first question is asking you, remember now I'm not going to do the input mask with you. Remember I've showed you that formula page that almost looks like a formula page of maths. You will use that in the exam, okay? We have done that in class to save a little bit of time. I'm not going to go over that again. So the first question there says you need to open the table, the books table. Okay, very important that you do read the correct name. If they are asking you to work in a query, you must work in the queries or in the table or in this form or if it's a report. Okay? They need to change the properties of the value field as follows. Now you need to know that you need to work in the design view. Now remember, access can either go, you can go to home and change the view there to design view, or you can use your cursor here at the bottom right end. Okay, now they are talking about a field. They are saying you need to change the value field. You need to put your cursor in that field in order to change the size of the field property. Now you will see this was a little mistake from my end. I'm going to use one of the other things to show you how to change the field size. For instance, the title. Okay, the title of the book can be 25. They are asking for one only. So if they are asking for one, you're going to put one in there. But to make it more applicable, I'm just going to make it 25. Okay, and then remember, if they ask you for it to be the smallest part, you need to know that if you go into format, into the format, then you're supposed to get the, let's just check at number, yes, there by number you'll be able to choose the byte, okay, which is the smallest unit. You need to know that. Then at 2.1.2 it says edit the combo box for the type field so that the user can only choose from one of the following. Now, in order for you to understand the questions asked for you in Access, you need to be able to first just know what your table is about. This table is about books, and it's about the author of the books, which I've changed now accidentally to only one character. That's why it's only displaying the first character of the title of the book, and then the author, etc. So you know by genre. Now I've put it in here. You can choose either for it to be children, teen, or fiction. Now, okay, in the test, we'll probably not ask you to design your own one. However, I'm going to show you if they ask you there by genre to make it a lookup wizard. You're going to go to lookup wizard. That's how you do it. Okay. And okay, why doesn't it want to give me that option? I'm just going to say, yeah, lookup wizard to show you the applicable one. And then you will use the values normally that's in the table. So you're going to say next, and you're going to create. So let's say parents and teachers, etc. was given there as an example. You're going to choose the fields there. Are you with me? Okay. So look at the question asking you that you need to type in, or you need to be able to choose from the following. If the question goes like that, you know you need to choose it like that from the lookup wizard. So the lookup wizard is going to be your data type that you are going to use in order to create it. Okay. Unfortunately, my whole table design is being edited too much in the last day. This is the 5th time I'm doing the video for you. So hopefully today will be the last time. Okay. Then the 2.1.3 is you need to change the currency. Okay. So if they ask you to change it to currency, you're also going to go to data type. You're going to change it to currency. And if they specify a symbol, in other words, they've asked for rand. Can you see when I click there somewhere else, that little arrow disappears? So I need to click into the format button in order for that arrow to appear. And then I can choose rand. Are you with me? Okay, I'm moving on. Then they are asking you for a validation rule and a validation text. Now you will see I've already done the validation rule because I've done it prior when the video wasn't working. What's the difference between a rule and the text? The rule is giving to you as the amount must be, in this case, smaller than. So you need to know your maths. Remember, smaller as, that little sign. And then you must put in the value. The validation text is what's going to come up when you do not put that in correctly. Let's say I'm putting a book in that's 110 Rand, then that is going to appear. I just want to show you that you can just put it in like that without inverted commas. Okay, max 100. Sorry, I will tell you the rule. Let's just quickly go and have a look. I just want to show you in the data sheet view that if I do type in a new value here, let's make that, let's try to put in 110 rands. Can you see my validation rule appears? Okay, so you can test it like that. Okay, just make sure if you do test it that you do change it back again, because otherwise it's not going to let you go out of this book. Okay? Like it's probably going to do with me now. Okay, wonderful. I'm moving on. It says there, this is the input mask. Now the input mask, I have done with you in class. Let's say I want the person's, the author's name. Then you're going to go to the input mask. There's the input mask. And you're going to read it off from that little formula. So let's say all the first letter must be capital. Then there's going to be a little sign given to you like that, etc. So you're going to use the input mask given to you. Remember, I've showed you how it's going to look. I'll send it to you on WhatsApp as well. And then the last question there, 2.1.5, asks you to set a primary key field for the most suitable one. Now remember, a primary key is always connected to something that's unique, like your ID number or a product's code, barcode. Okay, so let's say there wasn't a primary key there by the serial number, then we would have my design should be on. It's important for your design to be on, otherwise you're not going to see your primary key. Okay, let's say I wanted that to go off. Let's say there was none, and I'm asking you for the most appropriate one or the most suitable one. You need to use your brain and your knowledge and then choose the one that's most appropriate. You're going to select the record, which we name that record, and you're going to design and say primary key, and then it's going to be marked as the primary key. Okay, now queries. Now my queries is probably going to give me some hassle now because I have created some others. So let's see if we can just get the basic of this. Okay, you're obviously going to work from the book. So you just say, yes, okay, we want to do that. And we want to create a query. We always use the query wizard. Okay, we use the simple query wizard. We say, okay. And then you must use this tool in order to see, okay, I want the title, I want the author, and I want the value. Okay. Then I say next and then next, but don't press finish so quickly. You must name it. I'm just going to call it name now to show you where to name it. And I'm going to say finish. You must use the name that's given to you on the question paper. Okay. Now they are asking you that in that query, you must now only display the records of the books that cost less than 60 Rand. So remember, you must do that in your design view. If you want to display or not display something, you're going to click that. So if the book's author should not be displayed, it's going to be represented in your query. However, you're going to take the tick off. Okay? The criteria for the value is that it should not cost more than 60 Rand. In other words, it must be smaller than 60. That's your criteria. And if they ask you to sort something, you're going to do it there. They're asking you for, let's say, they probably won't ask you for the title. let's say the value, or they can, let's just see here, descending, so in alphabetical order and descending. If I'm asking you to take it off to save some time, I'm just showing you there is where you take it off as well, and that is at 2.4. They are asking you to take it off again, okay? And then just take note that when you have a tick box like this, okay, let me just quickly show you how your query is going to look like. So they're showing you all the names and the author of all the books that is less than that amount. Okay, that was supposed to be, I did it for you in one of the other queries. Okay, so basically I just want you to also see there that at the second button or the second bullet at 2.3, you must also just remember that when you have a query looking like that, you need to be able to know that when you're in your design view, okay, let me just quickly open up some things to show you. In the design view, let's say I'm asking you to put in all the books that does not need the repairs. In other words, they say they accept those books that need repair. In other words, if the books needed repair in the table, it had a tick. Okay, so we want those that doesn't have a tick. For a yes and no, if you want the criteria to be no, in other words, the ones that was blank, you have to say no. The ones that was ticked would be yes in the criteria to be displayed. Are you with me? Okay, and then let's quickly, the last part I'm doing is in forms. Okay, I've already edited this for you. So I'm just quickly going to show you how to edit this so that it can look like it's asked of you. Now you must remember, before we start with our forms, let's just go first into our design view. A form always consists of 3 fields: a header, a detail part, and a footer part. Okay, you are familiar with a header because it comes from Excel and Word. You need to display the label in the form header as follows. So that is the label. We call that little block that we type in the form a label. And you need to know that whenever you do designing inside the labels, you need to go into the design tool and you need to click on property sheet. Okay? And now I know of by heart, and I'm showing you, I'm teaching you this, that this special effect, it was flat. This is what it looked like that. But you need to know that you need to go to special effects in order to make that a little shadow. Okay, so now it looks like the one that's given to you there. Then they are asking you to add the picture. Now I've already added the picture. I'm just going to delete the picture and show you where to add a picture in Access. You're going to go to design again. You're going to say insert image. And I've already added that, but you're going to browse for yours and go to the book, etc. What's been asked of you. I'm just going to save some time and say there it is. But then importantly, now it doesn't want to give me that little list. So let me just quickly go and collect it then. Because I want to show you that you need to almost drag and leave it for it in order for it to stay there. Okay, I'm just seeing all the files quickly. There's the book I want. Okay, yours won't be so difficult to get. It will be easier to plug. Can you see I've dragged it in order for it to be seen there? Okay, then they want the author field to be, this is the author field. Remember, this is the author saying what is standing, but this is where the author's name is going to stand. You're going to go into, if that property list isn't there, remember you go to design and you make sure that it is seen. And then obviously that is got to do with the alignment. Okay, so go down and say, okay, the alignment must be centered. Okay, I've already done that. That is why it is now already centered. And then it says they fill in the detail section with any field. Now the detail section, can you see it says they detail? This is the detail section that's pink. The header is a light blue and the footer is white. So when I want to do something inside, I click on either of those. Then I know it's selected that specific section. Okay, and remember this is a back color. So I'm going to look for that specific back color. And in order to do that, I need to go on that little options button. I'm going to say more buttons. They ask for pink. I'm just going to change it to another pink so that you can see that it fills up. And then the other one is to display the value field with no decimals. So this is my value field. Remember, it was a currency. Can you see there's decimal places? Make sure that it is on 0 because that is what it says. It says 0. Okay.